This is section 14 of Cicero's Pro Caelio, and in this section, in the surrounding sections, Cicero has to tackle the elephant in the room, at least as it concerns the fact that Caelius is being defended by Cicero, and that is the specter of Catiline, the pretty well-known association between Catiline and Caelius. And so here we have Caelius, who is long suspected of being a cohort of Catiline, being defended by the man that Catiline, and parenthetically we could say Caelius, tried to bring down and even tried to murder. Um, so Cicero has to defend this, and he does this really eloquently. I've skipped ahead, and so this is beginning almost halfway through section 14. And so we're starting a little in medias res here, but what Cicero says is, for which reason let that circumstance, let that situation, O judges, be ignored, be rejected, and let the charge not stick, is what we're saying here, right? Nec crimen haereat. It's the charge of my client Caelius's familiarity with two of Catiline here. So let this charge that he is in cahoots with Catiline, let it not stick. And this is why. He says, indeed, or for, as he's common to use as a transition piece, est commune, this is common. It is a common, or it is a shared, or it is shared with many, and even with certain good men. And remember, Cicero means good in that very political sense that Cicero talks about the boni here, the good politicians of Rome, the conservative element safeguarding the state. Me, myself, me, I say, I declare it here right in front of you. That man once, quondam, paene decapit, almost deceived, right? So that man once almost deceived me, myself, me, I say. When, and now we have et civis mihi bonus, et optimi quisque cupidus, and then et firmus ac fidelis amica. So there's three things in the series, and they all hang upon videretur. When he seemed, and then we have the mihi here, the dative of reference. When to me he seemed both a civis bonus, a good man, and cupidus, eager for each best man, and a firmus and faithful friend, a steadfast, a firm, and loyal friend. So he seemed all of these things to me. All of these things seemed like this is who Catiline was to me. And then we have cuius here, the relative pronoun, being used in place of the pronoun, the regular pronoun. So I would translate this and of him. So and we don't get the verb here till de prehendi. So I, and then de prehendi we're going to say is understood. So I understood his facinora with my eyes before my opinion. I understood, again, his facinora, his crimes, with my hands before any suspicion. This is a little idiomatic, and this doesn't seem to really resonate with an English speaker, but what Cicero is basically saying is, look, I had to see it. I had to deprehendi it. I had to really see it to believe it, right? I had to deprehendi his crimes with my own eyes before I formed an opinion, and I had to get at it with my hands before I could have a suspicion. So very, very similar to in English, we would say I had to see it to believe it. Here's the quiz again. So and his, right? So in the great crowds of his friends, of the friends of him, if was also Caelius, right? So if Caelius was also in the great crowds of the friends of this man, magis est, well, it is more, or probably what sounds better in English, it is more reasonable ut. It is more reasonable that the man himself, so we're talking about Caelius here, would take it badly that he made a mistake, just as sometimes in the same man, concerning the same man, I regret also my own error. I am regretful of my error. Then, right, so we're responding to the magis est. So it is more reasonable that he would genuinely feel bad than that he would reformate the crimen of that friendship, that he would sort of regret the charge of the friendship of that man. And so Cicero here punctuates his point by using that pejorative iste instead of Ilias, perhaps.